Hey everybody, Wasasiate. So, yesterday I came out here after work and in the leather shop and I shot a video. And I was napping some of this, can't see the color in it very good right now, but I guess you can kind of see some of that purple flashing. But anyways, some of these slabs have better colors than others. That just seems to kind of, you'll have one that's perfect, and the next one kind of fade to one side, and the next one it all comes back. It just, I'm no expert at cutting this stuff, but I took some advice on how to cut it, and I got some that's got some really good color in it. But anyways, I napped one of these percussion slabs. This one's on a taper here. It was a cut that was in the vise that came off. But anyways, I napped one of these on film last night, and the whole thing was out of frame. I mean, you can kind of see right up here in this top corner, you can see all my indirect work. But no one wants to look up here in this top corner the whole time, right? So, I didn't. So we're not going to release that one. And another little update is I'm not going to release the heat treating video. After the second go around, when it started, unpredicted rain started, and I had to cover it up with tin, it really forced, I had too much heat. Anyways, it pretty much all got overcooked. Here's a piece of the Novaculite that wasn't overcooked. I got several pieces of stuff like this that was in there. Some of the Edwards that was in there. I mean, I still got rock out of there, but it wasn't done very well, so I'm just not going to release that. So I don't know if any of the rest of you get this big callous lump on your finger there from pressure flaking, but I do, and it's actually kind of sore at this point. So I'm going to do another one of these. I was wanting to do a trifacial point, which I'll probably do later this week. I've got some of these things cut like this here that were in cuts or whatever, and I don't remember how I came about this, but anyways, I came up with this deal and I sliced them so I could try to do some trifacial points, and I have a couple of those. So I'd offered a couple of those up for sale and nobody seemed to be interested, so I'm going to nap them myself. Alright, so we're going to get with this. It's kind of thin down here at this end, probably a little over 3/8, but we're probably half down here. So we'll see how this goes. The one I did last night, most of the color it had some color in it, but then I kind of it seemed like I napped the color away. It was still gray. It was a gray, kind of a gray, and it had some color to it, but not a lot. But maybe this one would be better, I don't know. It's number 3 flexi stick. I'm not familiar with these are the indirect sticks I make, and are available through the website. In fact, I just hauled several of them to the mailbox this evening. So a lot of people out there using them, getting to be more and more every day. Ooh, I see some purpley in there. Purpley. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but sometimes it can be a little bit, once you get these rolling, then they're pretty easy. And I could do this with direct percussion, but as you know, I'm an indirect guy for the most part. I like indirect, and I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing this flip-flop method with indirect. right. So what I was saying last night is that I love obsidian. I've said that before. I always have had a thing about it. I grew up out west and found there's literally obsidian flakes. Although we didn't have any obsidian in our area, there's obsidian flakes literally everywhere. And we found obsidian points and things like that. And preforms, things like that. We found a preform one time, my brother did. We're out goofing around, and he found this preform biface, which had a very well made one. And at time, of course, this is pre-internet, of course, and we all thought it was a hide scraper, and which was pretty common back in those days. Just wasn't the information that we have now, and we weren't real versed in it anyways. But anyways, he found that, which was pretty neat. There was an Indian camp up above our house where we lived, and we never did locate the exact camp, but there was lots of stuff in that area, which was pretty cool. So I've just always had kind of a thing for obsidian. But as far as napping, I would just as soon nap dacite or dacite or just plain old black as the rainbow. Although the rainbow tends to be higher quality obsidian, usually it seemed like. I prefer a stone that I don't have to take it out in the sunlight to see how pretty it is. And I know some of the rainbows and electric blues and all that stuff, you don't have to, I guess, but I've never had any of that. Where the color really showed, like indoors or something, you know. I just never had that. Having a problem getting around the corner. Try not to be over aggressive with it, because I don't want to break it. But so today, last night when I was out here, I about froze to death. It was just a race to the finish because it was cold, and I got a propane heater going right there, but it was still too, which I'm sure you guys can hear. But there's not going to be no napping without the heater, so we just have to put up with the noise for now. About froze, and like I've said before, the one end of this shop's completely open. So today I hung some tarps back over here. There's still a big open area back behind me that's a foot wide and 8 feet long. So most of my heat's escaping through that. But there was some stuff in the way preventing me from easily and quickly putting anything up there. So that part didn't get closed in, but it is definitely warmer, but I can feel that cold coming down through that hole there, or my heat escaping through it, one or the other. Tomorrow I may have to fix that, but I also am picking up my wife tomorrow. So my wife and my son are coming home tomorrow. Pretty excited about that. Not excited about going to Dallas, But I am excited about them coming home. I'd almost rather swallow a cup full of these shavings, these Obsidian chips, and go to Dallas, but that's where my wife's gonna be, so that's where I gotta be. I think the majority of the color, it looks like it's over this way, but there's some purpley stuff over this way here. Looks like. Now, I don't know how much this is actually going to show when it's all napped out. I'm not sure about that. But I guess we got to decide where our tip's going to be and all that stuff. Thinking we're just going to make the tip here and kind of take this off and round this about over here, and see that'll move this. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do probably. Think about this a minute. Yeah, I think we're gonna move this over. It's gonna make the point right in here. Something like that is what we'll shoot for. Kind of round this off here. This tip over. I don't know if that's the best way to go about this, but that's what I'm going to do. Right now someone's yelling in their TV going, "Hey, don't do that. Put it over there. It'll be longer." I could have wet it down or got some more oil on it so I could see exactly where the color's at a little bit better, but I know there's a bunch of color right here. I see some streaking up right here, so I'm trading some flint to a guy that's I believe he's in Denmark, something like that, somewhere over there, and anyways, I'm going to send him a little bit of this rainbow, and I send him a couple of other things. And he's going to send me some Danish flint, which I've never worked any Danish flint, but got to thinking about that. And that's exactly the kind of flint that those, pretty sure that those tri-face points were made out of. So although I don't really stick with the correct material for the correct point, or for that matter, even the correct point styles. I like to change them. If you've seen my turkey tails, you know that. They're not like anyone else's turkey tails. I like to add a little pizzazz to them. But anyways, so I'm looking forward to that. I gotta go to the post office and see what international boxes are available. I ship internationally all the time for the leather shop, but that stuff's all figured out, put in the website and all the rest of that stuff. Rock stuff I've never shipped. Well, I've shipped to Canada, but that's it. And I don't intend on shipping a bunch of rock and stuff overseas. I can't see the feasibility of doing that, but I am going to send this because I want some of that Danish flint and he wants some of the stuff I got, and I think it's a cool trade. What's even cooler is I have traded, oh, I don't know if you guys can see that purple that keeps flashing in there, but I keep seeing a little purple. A little purple. But anyways, I traded for this material to begin with. So it's part of a trade that's the rock's already been traded a couple different times, so kind of cool. This guy's got a YouTube channel too. I don't think he's got a lot of videos, and I don't think he's posted anything in a couple years, but maybe I'll put his link in the description here. You guys can check him out. He contacted me through TikTok. TikTok's a new thing for me, and I ain't been giving it as much attention as I probably should. And to be honest with you, I don't really know how to use it. And that's like Pinterest and some other stuff like that. I mean, I got Pinterest for the leather shop and stuff, and people, I know that women, they shop on Pinterest, right? And people shop with photographs, and nobody shops by description anymore. You know, it used to be you got the whatever catalog it was. Every place had catalogs, and whether or not it was Sears or J.C. Penney's or any of the rest of that stuff. And which heck, is there still even any J.C. Penney stores left? Maybe there is. My favorite catalog was always Bass Pro Shops. Was a little deeper than I might have wanted there. Wow. I don't know if the camera's picking that color up, but I can see all kinds of purple in there. So what I'm going to go for on this point as far as thickness goes is I like to nap obsidian at around 5:1, 6:1. That's about as thin as I care to take obsidian. So if we can get it to that, that would be great. I would have rather that had traveled up and took that out, but it didn't. And it still didn't travel in there and get it. Doggone it. That got it. That got her out of there. I'll pick that off there. Alright, so we got to get this other side cleared off. Oh no! Well, we just lost some width. That's alright. We don't lose any more. Well, let's see, what should we talk about? I was going to shoot some leatherwork videos today, and I just really didn't have the time to set everything up and still be able to get everything done. It takes a while to set the camera up, do all that kind of stuff, and move it around. And The leather shop's a fairly small area, and takes a lot of maneuvering to get shots around in there. Hopefully I didn't get it too thin to get this side off without breaking it. Could switch to a number 2, which I did last night and it worked out pretty good. Let's see here. I'll switch to number 2. Starting to get a little bit concerned about being too thin already. Ooh, that didn't work very well at all. That edge crushed. A little bit of crumbling down here. Let's see. Probably run that ridge right in there. Alright, that took that out. Alright, our face is pretty much clear. We're too thin right here, very thin. So hopefully we don't end up losing a tip, but I am concerned about that. Doggone it. I want that to go in there and do that. All right, we're gonna go to pressure. We are getting pretty thin here. For the thickness that we're at right now, it's starting to look pretty, we're getting pretty thin. I ordered some new pads today. I also have some thoughts on making some. I have a particular thing in mind. We will see how it goes. But I wear one of these pads out, I mean, in no time. And even, you know, this just had the little groove in it, like you see right here. Uh-oh, dropped it. Had the groove in it, like you see right here. Well, you don't take very long, you dig through it. Now I've dug through. Now I'm digging through the wood. So, and same thing on my other ones. I backed them with leather and all that rest of that stuff. I mean, I've got an idea for one that's, I guess, I think it might be a better mousetrap, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I'm not going to announce it right now, but we'll see. We are going to lose part of this tip for sure. I'll tell you one thing I don't like about obsidian, it is so doggone slippery. And I discovered yesterday that, man, I am, although I used to do quite a bit of obsidian, I am out of practice. Not a little bit out of practice. I'm really out of practice for obsidian. we'll get a handle back on her again. You know, the pads really aren't that expensive. I think a wood back one like this is about $14 or $15, something like that. But about time you get one broke in where you like it, then you work your way all the way through it. And that drives me nuts. Something else exciting has happened. Well, a couple things actually. Cool things happened. So I got orders for some knives today, which is cool. I got to make 4 knives, and the good thing is because everything out here is all extracurricular, so it has to pay for itself. And pretty tempted to take a indirect strike right here, but anyways, I took some knife orders today, and it's enough to pay for my tin to finish closing in the rest of this building. I've discussed that before with you guys, what my plans were, and that'll make it 36, about 13, I think about 13 feet wide and 35 feet long will be the size of the shop here when that's done. So anyways, and an electrician that's going to come out, or I've got to get one to come out to put in a new plug for the really exciting part, and that is I am getting I ordered a new kiln. So that'll be here in 4 to 6 weeks. So I got 4 to 6 weeks to get this thing closed in and rest away and get my plug put in so I can get the heating as soon as it gets here. So I am looking forward to that because I've been waiting for a kiln for a long time. I just can't keep relying on borrowing a kiln to heat my rock. So, and I was going to buy a used one. You can pick them up pretty cheap, and then buy a controller and all the rest of that stuff. And a lot of people tried to explain it to me, and I'm just not mechanically inclined enough. That's my kryptonite. When I was a kid, I used to change clutches in cars and, you know, transmissions, help swap out engines, all that kind of stuff, but I am one of the least mechanically inclined people you'll ever meet. And part of that is because I don't want to. I hate mechanics. I don't want to turn wrenches. The only wrench I care to turn is my 9/16 wrench, which goes to my saw vise for the rock saw. And that's That's it. That's the extent of what I want to do as far as mechanically turning a wrench goes. So, anyhow. I probably don't have this anywhere near close enough where you guys would like it. I do have my monitor. So our Starlink is hooked up in the house, okay? And then the leather shop is about, whatever, 30-40 yards from the house. And so is this rock shop. So I have an extender. Well, I wish I had a better pad than this one. I guess I don't need that. That might help to get that out of there. So I have a, doggone it. Got a Wi-Fi extender that comes out, and I think that was part of my problem because it just wasn't a good one. The one I had ordered off Amazon, and I went to the Walmart the other day because the other one quit working, and that was probably the best thing to ever happen because I've got Wi-Fi now all over my yard, and out here I got good Wi-Fi. In the shop I got good Wi-Fi. So that thing giving me all kinds of fits in the end probably was a blessing in disguise. It cost me $100 for a new extender, but I got far less headaches now. My entire business, whether or not it's the rock stuff or the leather shop, it's all online. I don't have a storefront other than a digital one. I almost talked myself into having a storefront one time, a brick and mortar, and man, am I glad I talked myself out of that. So we got this fat spot right here, and I need to get rid of some of that, if at all possible, because it's just not cohesive with the rest of the point. Doggone it, that was a little deep. Yeah, that was too deep. Too doggone deep. chasing my tail now. That's what's happening right here. Chasing my tail. I told you I wanted to be 5-to-1, and my guess is right at the moment we're less than that. I still got this spot right here that I don't like because this came in so deep. I should probably just leave it alone. Yeah, because I got this in here now that's giving me all kinds of problems. Yep, that was way too thin. We are blowing this point up. Should just left it alone. Well, I cleared that off. But boy, are we thin now. Too thin for obsidian. Too thin for obsidian. Yeah. Started the video out saying I didn't want it to be around 5-to-1, 6-to-1. And I bet we're a lot thinner than that right now. Yep. Most likely. And it is getting cold. I'm going to turn this heater up a little bit. Sorry about that, but I'm colder than I thought I was going to be. See if I can zoom it in just a little bit. Now if I can just stay in the frame. I actually went to steel on purpose because I was afraid the copper might be a little too grabby. But I'm probably going to have to use copper. I need to extend this out. I can't believe we're already in this 51 minutes. I really thought this was going to be pretty quick. Maybe should have done less yapping and more napping. But that's pretty exciting about the kiln. That's a big deal for me. That also opens up a lot more doors for stone I can offer and stone I can process and take care of myself, and pretty doggone excited. I need to pick that off there. I'm afraid to tap on it because I'm afraid to break it. Oh boy, oh boy. I didn't leave myself any room here. got it too thin. So honestly, I'm just kind of in salvage mode at the moment, just trying to salvage what I got happening here. This side's crookeder than a dog's hind leg. I'm gonna have to have another go with this, I guess. I have to make a conscious effort to not get it so thin. Getting straighter. Yeah, I'm gonna need a do-over on this one, I guess. It'll probably break during the notching if I get it through this. If I get it through this stage, that's probably when it'll break. Well, it's fairly straight. This whole tip needs to move over, but you want to know what's amazing is that I haven't broke this yet. It's gotten narrower, so the ratio's probably changed some, but now that it's gotten narrower, it don't feel quite as fragile. But let's see for a second here. Oops. So we got 44 millimeter, 1 3/4 inches. And that is, what is that, 5, 6, 7 millimeter. So whatever that is. So I'm trying to talk my dad into actually making the hand pads, because I know that I just don't have time. But if he does do it, I think you guys are going to like what it is. I think you're going to be like, why didn't anyone ever do that before? Some of you is going to be like, that's dumb. Like the indirect sticks. That's dumb. I just do direct percussion. Okay, well, for those of us that aren't that talented, we rely on a little indirect. I actually enjoy doing indirect more than I do direct percussion. I just like the action of doing it, I guess. I don't know. I think it's almost, I don't know if they've ever found anything that said that, yeah, early man used indirect percussion. But I have to believe that they did. Their brains weren't really any different in the last, 10,000 years than ours. And maybe no one came up with that, but I have to believe that they probably did. But that existed. They weren't a bunch of knuckle draggers. They were pretty doggone smart. And they were a whole lot tougher than we are today, I can tell you that. Most of us would never make it. I mean, they survived like mini ice ages and stuff like that. I'm out here in a mostly closed-in area with a propane heater blowing on me, and I'm ready to call it quits. So yeah, they were a lot tougher than me anyways. Which ain't hard to do these days. The older I get, the more fragile I feel, and I've never felt more vulnerable. I've never felt really vulnerable in my life. That wasn't an emotion that I've ever really felt until I had my back surgery, and I felt very, very vulnerable. Kind of fragile, kind of like this point right here. So I seen that Mr. Crafty had commented on my thing, and which is an honor, honestly. And he said I could use controlled breakage. If you guys don't know what that's all about, I guess you just have to watch his channel. Some of you that are wondering why my napping, although not nearly as good, resembles his, is because he has been such a big influence on my napping. I don't know what else I'm going to do here. Wasn't really planning on making it quite as pokey as it is, but can't really run too many more flakes in there because it's pretty thin, except for that tip's a little bit fat. I'd say my napping's a combination of several influences. John Tuttle is one of those influences. But I've definitely picked up little bits and pieces from all kinds of people. Got a little bitty yeah, I need a do-over on this. I don't know if I'll do it tonight or not, but we're gonna have a do-over. We'll see if it gets any, if I do any better the second time around. We'll see. Gotta get through this one first, I guess. How much cold is coming down through that hole right there, which shouldn't surprise me, I guess. Okay. Alright, so I think we're actually going to flatten this bottom out a little bit. I know that's going to lose some length, but what I want to do. It needs to be flat. Doggone it. I hope I wasn't out of frame there. Got a monitor, working monitor right in front of me, and I gotta train myself to use it. I think Patrick had mentioned, I think he naps. I've never got a chance to see him nap in person. But I'd like to. Well, got my notches all goofy. that took a big old chunk out. So this is a point style, more or less, from the far west. So Oregon, Idaho, Northern California, I guess. You know, them western states. Obsidian was one of the materials that they used. And it's modeled after northern side notch, I guess is what it would be. Now some of these they had narrow entries on these, and some of them they didn't. And that probably depended on the napper and the material, whether or not he got his point too thin, goofed everything up, or what. So anyways, I can imagine when they were warring and the injuries that were just devastating injuries from stone blades, stone tips, and parts of that breaking off in you, and be enough for me to say let's have peace. Too bad people can't realize that today, too. Yeah, it's pretty cold out here. I'm a little bit surprised that it's as cold as it is. I tested that out today and it was actually hot in here. Of course, it wasn't as cold as it is right now either, but it's pretty hot in here with that heater going, but not now. having my wife up there in Alaska kind of got me missing home a bit. I used to miss it like crazy all the time. Sounds a little bit like UPS trucks out there. I'm sure you guys are like finished that point already. Most of you's probably dropped off. Pretty straight, pretty jaggedy. I think this needs to move over though. Chasing it. There's not much I dislike more than chasing symmetry. But that seems to be par for the course for me. Of course, that kind of goofed up my edge. I posted a short video today showing some of this out in the sunlight. So if you want to know what the color's really like, that'd be a good place to watch that short and you'll be able to see what the color's like on this. I think we're about done with this. Pretty well, I just keep chasing this tip around. Probably another video destined for the vault. gonna call it good. There's our point. That's all we're gonna do to it. Just for the 2 of you that's still watching, lost far more width than I had intended. Far more everything, really. We got about 39, let's call it 40. And that is 6. So whatever that is. 40 and 6. There's our point. I can still see some purple in there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Trying to get it to show, but I can't seem to get it to go. Yeah. Yeah, so there we are, northern side notch. Wish I could get the purple to show. I can see it here, but I just don't know if it's showing up in the viewfinder or not. Of course, we're not out in the thing. My phone's about ready to die. All right, y'all have a great night. We'll catch you on the next one, and appreciate you watching. Keep napping.